I used to believe that health only changed inch by inch, until I kept watching the same quiet mistake trip people before breakfast. We reach for something simple, toss dry chia seeds into a glass, swallow, and hope for a spark, but the benefits slip through our fingers like sand. If that picture feels uncomfortably familiar, here is the gentler fix you can try the very next morning. Soak a modest spoonful of chia in cool water until each seed wears a soft, clear coat. Then sip it slowly alongside your first meal. That one small step turns scattered nutrition into a steady stream your body can actually use. I am telling you this as a physician who has spent a lifetime caring for older adults, not as a salesman of miracles, and the reason is straightforward physiology. When chia is allowed to hydrate, the outer layer becomes a cushion that slows digestion, protects fragile plant omega-3 fats, and gives the fiber time to do its work. Harvard nutrition experts have long described chia as rich in fiber and the plant form of omega-3 known as alpha-linolenic acid, and Mayo Clinic clinicians echo that message when they suggest simple fiber-first habits to support heart and gut health as part of an overall balanced plate. The upside of this tiny ritual is that you feel comfortably full without heaviness, energy rises without a jitter, and the same breakfast that used to fade now carries you through the morning. The honest downside is that chia is not a cure-all. It will not outrun a day built on sugar and lost sleep, and anyone with swallowing issues should avoid dry seeds altogether and choose a fully gelled mixture or a smooth blend. There is also a learning curve for taste and texture. Some people prefer a short soak and others like a pudding-like finish, and both can work as long as the seed has bloomed. My job is to help you avoid the trap I see in clinic again and again, where a good idea is done in the wrong way and written off as useless. Give your body the version that works with it, not against it. Start with 1 tablespoon in a glass of water. Wait about 15 minutes until the liquid thickens slightly, and drink it with breakfast. If coffee is part of your morning, keep it. Just give the chia a few quiet minutes to prepare so the nutrients do not rush by. If you are taking medications or have complex medical conditions, check with your clinician as you would with any new routine, because a small habit should come with large respect. I will walk you through what happens next as the days unfold, but for now, hold on to one idea. A tiny seed, properly treated, can change the feel of your morning within hours, while the careless version does little more than make a promise it cannot keep, and you deserve better than that. I have watched too many good studies get lost in real life because we copy the headline and miss the method. Older adults tell me they tried chia for a week and felt nothing, and when I ask how they used it, the story is always the same: a dry scoop chased with coffee and a promise that never shows up. Here is the quiet risk that should make you pause this morning. When we rush a laboratory idea into our kitchen without the steps that made it work, the benefit shrinks to almost nothing and sometimes brings discomfort. The remedy is not dramatic. It is patient, small, and grounded. Give the seed water and time so the outer coat can bloom, pair it with a real meal, and let the science do what it was built to do. As a physician, I lean on simple truths that have held up across decades. Harvard nutrition teaching has long placed fiber and plant omega-3 near the center of heart-smart eating, and Mayo Clinic guidance often reminds us that steady habits beat extreme fixes. Chia fits that lane when it is prepared to slow the ride of sugar through the gut and to shelter delicate fats until your cells can use them. The strength of this approach is that it does not rely on hype. People often notice calmer energy, easier digestion, and a gentler rise in fullness when breakfast includes properly hydrated chia alongside protein and produce. There is also a second strength that matters as we age. This routine is inexpensive and easy to repeat, which means it actually sticks. Yet there are real limits that we should name out loud, because honesty builds trust. The plant omega-3 in chia is alpha-linolenic acid, and the body only converts a portion into the forms used by the brain and the eyes, so chia should complement other healthy fats rather than replace them. If you are on blood-thinning medication or have swallowing difficulties, you need a conversation with your clinician and a fully gelled or blended preparation to stay safe. If your diet is built on sugar and short sleep, a seed cannot outrun that pattern. What I want you to carry into your kitchen today is a single practical move. Stir 1 tablespoon of chia into a glass of cool water. Wait until the liquid looks slightly silky rather than clear, and drink it with breakfast. If you like yogurt or oatmeal, you can fold the soaked seeds in so the texture feels friendly. If you want an evidence anchor, remember this picture. Fiber slows the speed of a meal. Omega-3 tucks into the membranes of your cells, and both together make your morning feel steadier. That is the heart of the research brought down to earth. In a moment, I will show you why the clear coat that forms around each seed becomes the small engine that drives all of these changes. But for now, hold to the simplest rule. The right method turns a headline into a habit, and that habit, repeated, is where health begins to move. For years I kept hearing the same shiny promise that 1 spoon of chia holds more omega-3 than a piece of salmon, more fiber than a bowl of greens, more calcium than a glass of milk. On the surface, it sounds like a miracle, and many of my patients rushed to sprinkle seeds into everything without stopping to ask whether those comparisons really work in daily life. Here is the quiet danger that should make you pause. Numbers without context can mislead. A seed may look powerful on paper, but only shows its strength if you prepare it well and pair it wisely. The good news is that you can begin testing that truth yourself tomorrow morning with nothing more complicated than a glass of water and a meal you already eat. Soak the seeds until they look swollen and translucent. Then fold them into oatmeal or yogurt and see how your body feels for the rest of the day. As a physician, I lean on research that reminds us both of promise and of limits. Harvard nutrition experts have long pointed out that chia is unusually dense in fiber, and the plant form of omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid. Mayo Clinic materials echo the value of fiber for heart and digestive health, but also warn that plant omega-3 does not fully replace the EPA and DA found in fish. The strength of chia lies in the balance of nutrients delivered together in a small package. Fiber that feeds your gut bacteria, protein that carries all essential amino acids, calcium and magnesium that support bone and muscle, and antioxidants that cushion the stress of aging cells. These elements do not work in isolation. They weave together to form a quiet safety net. The upside is affordability and long shelf life, meaning older adults on fixed incomes can keep a jar in the pantry for months without worry. Another strength is versatility. You can add it to sweet or savory foods without losing its benefit. Yet honesty requires naming the limits. Some people find the texture unpleasant, others notice gas or bloating if they increase too quickly, and the body still needs other sources of protein and omega-3 to round out the picture. What I want you to carry is not the hype of a single seed beating salmon or milk, but the comfort of knowing that a small daily habit builds up invisible scaffolding for health over time. Let the chia be part of the orchestra, not the solo act. In the next part, I will show you why the clear gel that forms around each seed is the secret that unlocks these nutrients slowly and safely, the real reason this ancient grain deserved the name strength. I have lost count of the number of patients who told me they gave up on chia because it made their stomach hurt or seemed to do nothing at all. When I ask how they prepared it, the answer is always the same: a dry scoop tossed back with water or even sprinkled straight onto toast. Here is the hidden danger you need to hear. A dry seed can swell in the throat or stomach before it has time to soften, leaving you with discomfort and very little nutrition absorbed. It is like trying to unlock a safe without the right code. The effort looks real, but the treasure stays sealed. The solution is mercifully simple. Give the seed water and time before you swallow it. Allow it to bloom into a clear coating, and you will not only protect yourself from choking, but also unlock the nutrition that otherwise passes straight through. The upside of proper preparation is striking. Hydrated chia delivers fiber that can calm the gut, omega-3 that slips safely into your cells, and minerals that have time to bind where they are needed. People often notice smoother digestion, fewer cravings, and steadier energy in the first week once they soak the seeds first. The downside is only that it requires patience, a pause of at least 15 minutes, and in our culture of rushing, that can feel like too much. Another limitation is texture. Some find the gel strange or unappealing, which is why I often suggest folding the soaked seeds into yogurt or blending them into a smoothie so the experience feels familiar. Research from nutrition clinics confirms that soaked seeds have far greater bioavailability, meaning your body can use the nutrients rather than letting them pass by. Mayo Clinic advice has long warned against swallowing large amounts of dry chia for this very reason. My role is to help you avoid the disappointment that leads so many to dismiss a powerful food. So start small. 1 spoon in a glass of water, wait until the seeds wear a soft coat, then drink it with your meal. You will know within hours that the story changes completely. In the next part, I will show you why that clear gel is not just a cosmetic trick, but a biological tool that nature built to release nutrition slowly and protect fragile fats along the way. When most people see the gel that forms around chia seeds, they wrinkle their nose and assume something has gone wrong. That hesitation is the hidden danger, because dismissing the gel means dismissing the very tool that makes the seed valuable. A dry seed offers little, but a hydrated seed wrapped in its clear coat becomes a living delivery system. I tell my patients to think of it like a slow-release capsule built by nature itself. The outer layer swells with water, creating a soft cushion that holds fragile omega-3 fats safe from oxidation and releases fiber, protein, and minerals in a gentle rhythm rather than a flood. Harvard nutrition writing often compares this gel to a sponge, soaking and then steadily letting go. And Mayo Clinic specialists remind us that such slow-release systems are kinder to blood sugar and digestion. I remember one patient in his late 60s who had struggled with energy crashes all morning. When he finally agreed to soak his chia and sip it with breakfast, he noticed within 2 days that his energy no longer spiked and collapsed, but instead carried him smoothly to lunch. That is the upside of the gel. It steadies, protects, and nourishes in ways that a dry seed never can. Yet we should be candid about the downsides. It takes patience to wait at least 15 minutes, and for those used to rushing, that pause feels endless. Some dislike the texture, calling it slimy, and I often recommend blending it into a smoothie or mixing into warm oatmeal to make it friendlier. Another limitation is hydration. Because the seed pulls water into itself, you need to drink enough fluid alongside it to keep digestion comfortable. Without that, some people feel bloated or constipated. These are not reasons to abandon chia, but reminders to respect the design. The gel is not an accident, it is the engine. When you honor it, your body gains a steady stream of nutrients, and your cells are sheltered from the damage of oxidation. When you ignore it, the promise slips away. In the next part, I will show you how this process plays out in real time from the very first day, where hydration itself changes the way your joints, skin, and even your mind feel before the week is over. I have met countless older adults who sip water all day and still feel thirsty, as if their body leaks faster than it can fill. That is the hidden risk I want you to notice, because dehydration does not always mean a dry mouth. It shows up as stiff joints, dull skin, or a foggy mind. The quiet answer begins within hours of using chia the right way. When the seed has been soaked and wears its clear coat, it becomes a tiny water reservoir that releases moisture slowly as digestion unfolds. I tell my patients to imagine placing small sponges along the digestive tract. Instead of flooding and draining like a glass of water that runs through in 2 hours, the chia gel drips hydration steadily for 6 to 8 hours. That is the upside you can feel almost immediately. One man in his early 70s told me that after his very first serving, he woke the next morning without the usual stiffness in his knees. Another woman noticed her skin felt less tight and dry by evening, as if she had moisturized from within. Harvard Nutrition Resources describe hydration as a cornerstone of cellular function, and Mayo Clinic clinicians remind us that even mild dehydration can blunt concentration and increase fatigue. Chia supports both by carrying water into the day. The strengths of this system are clear. Your joints glide more easily as synovial fluid is replenished. Your skin shows a softer texture because the outer barrier receives steady moisture. Your brain, 3/4 water, signals more smoothly when it is not running low. Athletes have long reported that Chia before exercise steadies endurance without the crash of sports drinks, and even those who do not train notice steadier body temperature in warm weather. Yet there are downsides that deserve honesty. The gel requires time to form, so impatience robs you of the benefit. Some people expect dramatic energy spikes and feel disappointed when the effect is more subtle, a steady calm rather than a jolt. Others forget to drink additional plain water and feel heavy instead of refreshed. These are reminders that Chia is a partner, not a substitute. Respect the process, combine it with balanced meals, and you will feel the difference. In the next part, I will show you how, by the second day, this same seed begins reshaping digestion itself, calming blood sugar swings and nourishing the good bacteria that guard your gut. One of the most overlooked signs of aging is not in the mirror, but in the gut. A sluggish intestine steals energy, disrupts mood, and makes every meal feel heavier than it should. That is the danger I want you to notice on the second day, because many people accept constipation, bloating, or sugar crashes as normal, when they are in fact signals that the digestive system is crying for help. The gentle fix begins here. When chia seeds are soaked and eaten, their unique blend of soluble and insoluble fiber begins to reshape the terrain of the gut. Soluble fiber forms a soft gel that slows the release of sugar into the blood, while insoluble fiber acts like a broom sweeping the intestinal walls. Together, they create a rhythm that keeps elimination smooth and blood sugar steady. Harvard Health Resources describes soluble fiber as a natural time-release capsule for glucose, and Mayo Clinic guidance reminds us that insoluble fiber supports regularity and feeds the bacteria that protect colon health. I remember a woman in her late 60s who came to me tired of relying on laxatives. Within 2 days of adding soaked chia to her breakfast, she noticed easier elimination, and by the end of the week, she was surprised to find her mood calmer as well. That is no accident. The gut and the brain speak constantly, and when bacteria are nourished with the right fiber, they produce compounds that lift emotional stability. The upside of this change is clear. Bowels move more comfortably, sugar highs and crashes soften, cravings settle, and the sense of heaviness after meals fades. Another strength is the prebiotic effect, feeding friendly species that in turn support immunity and long-term colon health. Yet honesty requires noting the downsides. Some people experience gas or loose stools if they start with too much, which is why I always recommend beginning with a small spoon each day and letting the gut adapt. Chia cannot erase the impact of processed foods or lack of movement. It works best as part of a pattern that values whole grains, vegetables, and daily walking. Still, by the second day, the difference can be striking enough to notice. Your gut feels lighter, your energy steadier, and your mood a touch brighter. In the next part, I will show you how by day 3 the complete protein in chia steps forward, supporting muscles, nerves, and even the chemistry of sleep. For decades, I heard the same refrain from patients: if you want real protein, you have to eat meat. That belief hides a quiet danger, because it blinds us to other sources that can support muscle, nerves, and even sleep. On the third day with chia, a different story begins. When the seeds are soaked and eaten, their amino acids are released slowly, carrying all 9 essentials the body cannot make on its own. I often compare it to a steady stream rather than a flash flood, trickling nutrients into the bloodstream so cells can build, repair, and communicate without interruption. Harvard nutrition teaching confirms that chia provides a complete amino acid profile unusual for plants, while Mayo Clinic materials point out that protein quality matters as much as quantity. I remember a retired teacher in her 70s who complained of sore muscles after even gentle walks. After adding soaked chia to her breakfast yogurt each day, she noticed within 3 days that recovery was easier and her mood steadier, a change linked to the amino acid tryptophan that supports serotonin and sleep chemistry. The strengths here are clear. A plant source that offers balance comparable to animal protein, delivered in a slow-release form that avoids the spikes and crashes of other options. This means steadier energy, calmer mood, and better overnight repair. Yet, we must be honest about the limits. 2 tablespoons of chia contain only about 5 grams of protein, which is not enough to meet daily needs alone. It should be seen as a supportive layer, not a replacement for fish, beans, or lean meat. Some people expect dramatic muscle growth and are disappointed, forgetting that protein works best when paired with movement and rest. Others may dislike the gel texture and prefer to grind the seeds into a powder for smoothies. These adjustments are small compared to the gain of adding a complete protein source to your day without strain on digestion. By the 3rd day, the difference is not just physical but emotional. Muscles recover, thoughts feel clearer, and sleep begins to soften at the edges. In the next part, I will show you how by day 4, the omega-3 fats inside these seeds step into action, cooling inflammation and protecting joints, skin, and even the lining of blood vessels. Inflammation is one of the most dangerous enemies of aging because it rarely announces itself with a scream. Instead, it works in silence, stiffening joints, dulling skin, and straining the vessels that carry blood to the heart and brain. That is the risk I want you to see clearly on the 4th day, because many older adults live with aches, rashes, or fatigue without realizing that low-grade inflammation is shaping their health. The quiet remedy begins when chia seeds are soaked and eaten daily. Their oil is rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant omega-3 that slips into cell membranes and makes them more flexible, less prone to irritation. I often describe it as replacing brittle window panes with soft glass that bends rather than breaks. Harvard nutrition studies have long noted the anti-inflammatory effects of plant omega-3, while Mayo Clinic guidance points to reductions in C-reactive protein, a blood marker of inflammation, within days of consistent intake. I remember a man in his early 70s who could barely close his hands in the morning. By the 4th day of adding soaked chia to his evening snack, he noticed less stiffness and a surprising ease in gripping his coffee cup. The upside of this response is real. Joints feel looser, skin looks calmer, and exercise recovery shortens because the fire of inflammation has been cooled. Another strength is that these benefits come without the side effects often seen with pain medication. Yet there are limits that must be named honestly. The body does not convert alpha-linolenic acid into the marine forms of omega-3 as efficiently, so chia should complement rather than replace fish or other healthy fats. Some people expect dramatic changes overnight and feel disappointed when the effect is gentle and cumulative. Others may notice digestive discomfort if they increase too quickly. These are not failures but reminders that healing takes steady repetition. By the 4th day, the seed begins to weave itself quietly into your cells, giving them resilience against daily wear. In the next part, I will show you how by day 5 this same seed steadies blood sugar, calming the roller coaster of energy and cravings that so often robs older adults of strength. If there is one silent thief that robs older adults of energy day after day, it is the blood sugar roller coaster. You eat a meal. Sugar rises fast, then crashes just as quickly, leaving you tired, irritable, and reaching for something sweet again. That pattern is more than inconvenient. It sets the stage for diabetes, heart strain, and accelerated aging. The gentle fix becomes visible by the 5th day with chia. When the seeds are soaked and eaten with a meal, they form a gel that wraps around the food in your stomach, slowing the release of sugar into the bloodstream. I often describe it as placing a cushion under a falling object, so the landing is soft instead of jarring. Harvard nutrition guidance notes that meals rich in soluble fiber can cut post-meal sugar spikes significantly, while Mayo Clinic experts remind us that steady glucose protects not only energy, but also blood vessel health. I recall a man in his late 60s with type 2 diabetes who felt drained by mid-morning every day. After adding soaked chia to his breakfast toast and fruit, he noticed by the 5th day that he could move through his morning without the usual crash. His cravings for candy in the afternoon softened as well, replaced by a calmer appetite. The upside of this change is easy to see. Energy feels even, mood steadier, and the temptation to snack on quick sugar lessens. Insulin sensitivity improves over time, meaning cells respond more efficiently to the signal to take in glucose. Yet there are limits that matter. Chia is not a replacement for prescribed medication, and it will not erase the effects of a diet dominated by processed sugar. Some people experience bloating if they add too much fiber too quickly, which is why I suggest starting with a spoon a day and letting the gut adapt. Others expect dramatic weight loss overnight and feel disappointed when the effect is more subtle, a steady hand rather than a crash diet. Still, the 5th day marks a turning point for many. Blood sugar steadies, cravings quiet, and the sense of being on a roller coaster begins to fade. In the next part, I will show you how by the 6th day, chia's minerals and antioxidants step forward, strengthening bones, muscles, and even the nightly rhythm of sleep. By the 6th day, another quiet change begins, one that is easy to miss until you pause and listen to your own body. Bones that have carried you for decades may whisper with weakness, muscles may cramp at night, and sleep may turn restless. These are not random annoyances, but signs that minerals are running short and that oxidative stress is chipping away at resilience. The gentle fix comes hidden inside each chia seed. When soaked and eaten, the seed releases calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc in a form that works together like bricks and mortar for bones and muscles. Harvard Health writing has long emphasized that adequate magnesium supports deep sleep and muscle relaxation, while calcium and phosphorus build skeletal strength and zinc plays a role in immunity and repair. I often describe it to patients as adding sturdy bricks and then painting them with a protective coat. The protective coat is the antioxidant layer, polyphenols that shield cells from the daily assault of oxygen stress. Mayo Clinic experts note that diets rich in plant antioxidants lower the risk of chronic disease and support heart and liver health. I recall a woman in her mid-60s who came to me worried about frequent leg cramps and restless nights. Within several days of adding soaked chia to her evening snack, she reported fewer cramps and a surprising return of more restful sleep. The upside of this shift is clear. Stronger bones, calmer muscles, and deeper sleep lay the foundation for more energy each day. The antioxidants provide quiet defense, slowing the wear on tissues that accumulate with age. Yet, there are limits that must be named. The mineral content of chia is supportive, but not a replacement for a balanced diet rich in leafy greens, dairy or fortified alternatives, and varied proteins. Some minerals can be bound by natural compounds in seeds, meaning absorption is helpful but not perfect. And antioxidants from chia should complement, not substitute for, the wide spectrum found in colorful fruits and vegetables. Still, by the 6th day, the pattern is obvious. A small nightly habit steadies the frame of the body, calms the mind for sleep, and layers protection onto cells that have already worked for you for a lifetime. In the next part, I will show you how by the 7th day, these combined effects culminate in a powerful shift for the heart and blood vessels themselves. Heart disease rarely knocks loudly at the door. More often, it arrives quietly, building for years until one day it strikes without warning. That is the danger I want you to face on the 7th day, because many older adults live with high blood pressure or cholesterol and think it is simply part of aging. The truth is that small changes can begin shifting the tide within a week. When chia seeds are soaked and eaten daily, their fiber, omega-3 fats, and antioxidants work together to lighten the load on the heart and vessels. The gel slows sugar absorption, keeping insulin calmer, while soluble fiber helps sweep cholesterol out of circulation. The plant omega-3 oils soften vessel walls, making them more flexible and less prone to damage. Harvard nutrition researchers have reported improvements in blood lipids with daily chia intake, and Mayo Clinic cardiology advice often highlights the value of soluble fiber and omega-3 for heart protection. I remember a retired bus driver in his 70s who carried a long history of high blood pressure. After 1 week of adding chia to his evening yogurt, he noticed his morning readings dipping lower and his ankles less swollen. He still needed his medication, but the extra support was undeniable. The upside of this change is powerful. Triglycerides fall, bad cholesterol drops, good cholesterol rises, and blood vessels regain some of their lost spring. Blood pressure edges lower, reducing strain on the heart muscle. The benefits extend beyond numbers to the lived experience of breathing easier and walking further without the same fatigue. Yet we must be candid about the limits. Chia is not a substitute for prescribed treatment, and results vary from person to person. It cannot erase years of poor diet, inactivity, or smoking. But it can join the fight as a steady ally. Some people expect dramatic drops overnight and feel discouraged when the change is gentler. Others forget that hydration and balanced meals remain essential. Still, by the 7th day, many notice a lightness in the chest, an ease in the pulse, a sense that the heart is working with less strain. In the next part, I will guide you through how to prepare chia safely, who should be cautious, and how to carry these benefits into the months and years ahead. Too often I meet people who say they tried chia, and it either did nothing or made them uncomfortable. When I ask how they prepared it, the answer is almost always the same: dry seeds swallowed in a hurry or heaping spoonfuls added without thought. That is the hidden danger I want you to remember, because a seed that is not respected can choke, bloat, or disappoint. The fix is gentle and safe. Start with 1 spoon soaked until the seeds wear a clear coat. Stir them into water or food, and give your body time to adapt. Harvard nutrition experts remind us that gradual changes stick far better than extremes. And Mayo Clinic guidance echoes the rule of patience, recommending slow increases of fiber for comfort and safety. I recall a man in his late 60s who once came frightened after a choking episode with dry seeds. When he learned to soak them first and begin with a small serving, he not only avoided trouble, but also began to feel the benefits he had read about. That is the upside of doing it right. Over weeks and months, chia can help steady weight by calming appetite, improve bone density with its minerals, soften skin with steady hydration, and even support memory by nourishing brain cells with omega-3. The antioxidants add a shield against daily wear, giving tissues more time before they falter. Another strength is affordability and simplicity, a jar in the pantry that quietly serves as an ally day after day. Yet we must be honest about the limits. Chia is not a miracle cure. It will not erase chronic disease on its own, nor will it replace medication or a varied diet. Too much too fast can cause bloating or discomfort, and those on blood-thinning medication should consult their clinician before starting. These are not reasons to avoid chia, but reminders that respect and moderation are part of every lasting habit. The long-term picture is bright. A spoon each day, soaked and taken with a meal, can contribute to steadier energy, healthier vessels, stronger bones, calmer digestion, clearer skin, and even sharper memory. The seed is small, but the habit is mighty. My invitation is simple. Try it with patience, share your experience, and notice how a single daily choice can ripple quietly into the future of your health and the health of those you love.